My daughter finally joined a book club, but I didn't feel proud. I felt terrified. I've been a published author for 14 years, 12 novels, 3 bestsellers. I've dedicated every single one to my daughter Zoe. She's never read a single page. It started when she was 8. I gave her my first book, sat beside her, waited for her to open it. She looked at me and said, "Books are boring." Then she handed it back. I thought it was a phase. It wasn't. For the next 8 years, I tried everything. I left books on her nightstand. She used them as coasters. I read aloud at dinner. She put in earbuds. I offered her $50 to read just one chapter. She said she'd rather be broke. It became her whole personality. I'm not a reader. She said it like other kids say they're vegan, proudly, loudly, to anyone who would listen. Her room has no books. Her phone has no reading apps. She once told her English teacher she'd rather fail than finish a single novel. She wasn't bluffing. She got a D. So when she came home last month and casually mentioned she'd joined a book club, I didn't celebrate. I felt my whole body go cold. A book club? Yeah, it's this group that meets on Thursdays. We discuss literature and stuff. She said literature, like she'd rehearsed it. What book are you reading? She paused, just for a second. I forget the name. Some classic. Zoe doesn't forget things. She has a photographic memory for song lyrics, TikTok trends, and every ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend. She doesn't forget the name. Where do you meet? The library downtown. Zoe has never set foot in a library voluntarily in her entire life. That's great, honey. I kept my voice steady. I'm really proud of you. She smiled, but her eyes didn't. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about every detail. The rehearsed answers, the fake enthusiasm, the fact that my book-hating daughter suddenly cared about literature. The next Thursday, I told her I was working late. Instead, I parked across from the downtown library and waited. At 6 p.m., Zoe walked out of the building. Then a black car pulled up. She got in. My stomach dropped. I followed, kept 2 cars back. The black car drove to a parking garage on the edge of downtown. Zoe got out and walked to another car. A man was inside, older, maybe 30s. She got in the passenger seat. They talked for 20 minutes. At one point, she started crying. He handed her tissues, then an envelope. She got out, walked back to the first car. It drove her to the library steps. She went inside this time. 5 minutes later, she walked out the front entrance and called me for a ride. How was book club? Good. Her voice was hollow. When she went to bed, I searched her room, found the envelope in her closet. Inside, $200 cash and a burner phone. I opened the phone. 3 contacts, no names, just initials. The texts made me sick. Thursday, same time. Bring what you owe. Don't even think about telling anyone. I'll send everything. Your mom would love to see these photos in her inbox. I scrolled further, found the photos. My daughter, taken without her knowledge, some in her bedroom, some through windows, and some she'd sent herself before she knew who she was really talking to. He'd been grooming her for months, pretending to be a boy her age. By the time she realized the truth, he had everything. The book club was when she paid him. Cash she'd been stealing from my wallet. Small amounts I never noticed. I called the police that night. They traced the burner phone, found him within 48 hours. His name was Ronald Vickers, 34, 3 prior arrests. He'd been doing this to girls across 4 states. Zoe wasn't even his only victim in our city. The detective who handled the case sat with me after the arrest. How did you know something was wrong? She told me she joined a book club. He looked confused. My daughter would rather die than read a book. The second she told me she was discussing literature, I knew someone else was pulling the strings. He shook his head. Most parents would have just been happy. I know my daughter. Zoe didn't talk to me for 3 days after she found out I'd followed her. She was angry, embarrassed, ashamed. On the 4th day, she came into my office. I was working on my next book. She sat on the floor, didn't say anything for a long time. He told me no one would believe me, that I'd sent the photos so it was my fault, that you'd hate me if you found out. I could never hate you. I know that now. She picked up the manuscript pages on my desk, looked at them for a long time. Mom, yeah? What's this one about? I smiled. You want to read it? She shrugged. Maybe just the first chapter. She took the pages to her room. An hour later, she came back for chapter 2.